Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Let's Talk South County. My name is Raquel Crowell, and today my special guest is Samantha Halvorsen, certified life coach with Knowing Up. Hi, Samantha. Thank you so much for coming on my show today. I'm so excited to have you with me. I think right now we're all going through some troubling times. This is not normal. And I think that what you do on a regular basis dealing with teen girls is hard, and then throw this into the mix, and I think it's even harder. So welcome to Let's Talk South County. For my viewers who've never been to your website or don't know about you, can you just go into a little bit about what you do and who you are?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here. I am a certified life coach, and I work mainly with teenage girls, 13 to 22, the college age girls who are going into college. And I work with them on anxiety and self-confidence. So a lot of girls that come to me have higher levels of anxiety than normal. And a lot of working on that anxiety is building their self-confidence. And so I have 3 programs that I offer. The first one is the Anxiety and Self-Confidence program. And then I also offer a college ready program for the little bit older girls who are going into college and kind of feel some anxiety with a lot of the life changes that are about to happen and some big decisions and trying to know what they're going to do. And then my third program is for parents who are raising teen girls with anxiety. And as parents, there's just so much that we can do to help our kids with their anxiety. So that's what my last program is. It's really working with the parents and helping them understand how to best raise their teen with anxiety.
Yeah, I feel like growing up as a teen girl, there's so many different things. Sometimes you don't know who your friends are, and that even is the case as you get older. There's school, there's peer pressure, there's so many different things. Let's just say like an anxiety program, kind of run through a little bit about what you do for a teen girl who's maybe having some issues. I would say let's just focus on kind of in the current market that we're in. I think there's some extra things going on that maybe some people that you may be seeing, but I know I'm seeing a few things with my daughter. Just this isn't normal. And how are you coaching girls to kind of get through some of this?
Yeah, absolutely. So in my coaching with teenage girls, what I teach is that anytime we have a thought, it creates a feeling. So whenever we're feeling anxiety, it's coming from a thought. And in a lot of the teen girls that I coach, the thoughts are like, I'm going to embarrass myself. I'm going to be judged by people. I'm going to look funny, right? Those are a lot of thoughts in our teen heads that cause the anxiety that we experience. So in my work with them, I work on kind of helping them to rewire their brains to think different thoughts so that they can feel differently. Mm-hmm. Now, in this whole situation that we've come across now in the last few months, the amount of uncertainty has gone up so much. And so people with a little bit of anxiety, now they have so much more anxiety because there is so much uncertainty. But the way I work with those girls is, life has always been uncertain, right? And helping them to understand and accept that uncertainty and be able to handle it better. And also working with them on exactly what is causing the anxiety. And that's part of the work I do is we dive in and we figure out what is the root cause of it. Because it is so different for every girl.
Yeah, I think, my daughter she's turning, she just had a birthday. She's turning 11. She just turned 11. And, I had went to her just really quickly and I was like, Lauren, what is going on? And she's like, you don't know what it's like not to see your friends. You don't know what it's like to be stuck in this house like every day. And I didn't really, I was like, yeah. And she's like, without the choice, I don't have a choice to do this. And so I really started thinking, oh my goodness, like she's so right. I'm kind of going crazy, but I didn't really think about, a kid who looks forward to going to school, who loves learning, who loves seeing her friends, how different this was going to be for her. So I imagine that you may have seen a little uptick in your business, just in the sense of, it's just even more uncertain and more issues that kids are going through.
Right. Well, and right now, these kids are missing out on just their normal development,
Yeah.
gaining independence, being away from home, forming an identity away from home, having privacy, being with friends, those connections. Those are all very important developmental things that happen at this stage in our life, and they're missing out on them.
Right.
And
Right.
so it's hard to handle all of that.
And so when a child or an adult goes to you, how do you evaluate which program they should be in?
So most of my programs are built around anxiety and self-confidence. It really just depends on what age they are.
Okay. And
Yeah.
then you kind of have a one-on-one consultation. Your programs are via Zoom right now. Are they normally, you come in and sit down, or are they always Zoom?
They've always been Zoom. So this is great. My business can still go on right now, which has really been a blessing. But yeah, I usually meet with the parent first and do a consult, and then I'll do a consult with the parent and the teen. And then we discuss, okay, what kind of results do you want from working with me? And we set some goals, and then we dive in and we start working on how to accomplish those goals.
Okay. And this is when someone comes to you, it's 100% confidential, right?
Yes. So anything that the teen says to me is confidential, besides the caveats if there's abuse or if there's suicidal tendencies or going to hurt anybody else. But yeah, it is between me and the teen. I don't tell the parent what's going on. I do report to the parent and say, we talked about this, because I'll give the teen assignments, and if they want parental support in doing those assignments, I think that it's important to have that support from a parent to just know, okay, these are the assignments that the teen is working on. As long as it's okay with the teen, then I share that information.
Okay. So an average session, they go in and they kind of talk with you about what's bothering them. Can you give me a little bit of idea that you go in, you give them tips, you work through, how does that work? Like, what do you do during a session that would help a child or someone? Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. So I use this formula that's called the model.
Okay.
Okay. And then, so we take the circumstance, which is always neutral. Okay. So we have whatever circumstance that they're maybe struggling in. And then once we have the circumstance established, then our brains usually think a thought about the circumstance. Okay. So say the circumstance is I have to get up in drama class and give a speech. Okay. So giving a speech is the circumstance. And when we have that, then the brain has a thought about that circumstance, which is, I'm going to embarrass myself. That's a very typical teen thought. Okay. And so when you think that thought, I'm going to embarrass myself, that thought leads to nervousness, right? And then when we're nervous, there's actions that take place from being nervous. Like our face turns red. We kind of get a little bit shaky. We kind of hesitate going up there, or we're kind of like curling a ball, or we might stutter a little bit. Those are all actions that come from being nervous.
Yeah.
And then when we have the actions from being nervous, the result is that we're still anxious. We're still nervous. We're not feeling comfortable getting up and doing those things that are part of teen development.
Yeah.
So I work with the teen then the only thing we really can change in the model is the T line, which is the thought, right? So instead of I'm going to embarrass myself, we would try to pick some different thoughts so that you could feel different. And so I go through them with all of that on lots of different situations and kind of help them to tweak their brains and think about situations differently.
Yeah, I think that it's kind of when you're young, you almost think that there's a fight or a flight. There's only one way to act. And so your model really, I mean, just listening to this one way that you do that, you really break it down for them and kind of step by step it so that that model can be applied to many other scenarios for them is kind of what I'm hearing from you.
Oh yeah, and there's so many different thoughts that lead to them feeling anxiety that we work through all of those. And I do a lot of teaching about the brain and how the brain works. And if you can understand more about why your brain is doing what your brain is doing,
Huh.
it really helps to understand the anxiety, because the anxiety is it's in our DNA, it's our survival mechanism, and it kicks in when it thinks that, we are in fight or flight or we are in trouble. And just understanding why it's kicking in and being like, okay, brain, thank you for trying to protect me right now. I'm actually not in any danger, right? Like if I have to get up and feel embarrassed in front of my class, like I'm not gonna die. And so it's really learning to talk back to our primal brains and understand why it's doing what it's doing. It's protecting us, which it's designed to do that beautifully. It just doesn't need to do it all the time.
Right. I feel so. One thing that listening to you, I want to use the word empower. I feel like you're empowering young girls and even, the college girls to take accountability for your emotions and really kind of get them in check. And, understanding yourself. So in sessions with you, I feel like that's really beneficial because when you become more confident, you have more ability to be able to do that for yourself. And I think you empower anyone, really. I think it can be, and I think your tools can work for girls and boys alike, that just give them the opportunity to, like I said, where that word comes out is empower them to take control of their own feelings and not let it run away with them.
Totally. And I do a lot of work with girls that just want to, one of the goals they want is just making friends. Teens have such a hard time feeling awkward. They're not used to feeling their emotions. And so a lot of the work I'm doing is they just want to learn how to make friends and talk to people. And there's such a mindset among the teens is, well, what if they don't want to be my friend? What if they don't like me? And so my job is to shift their focus and be like, okay, that's not the way to look at it. Do you want to be their friend? Do you want to have them as your friend? And look at it as a perspective of, okay, is this one of my people? Is this going to be one of the people that is going to support me and love me for who I am? Not, are they going to like me? And who do I need to be so that they'll like me? Right?
Yeah, that's a whole other topic of who they think they need to be. I try and teach my daughter to just be who you are. But that doesn't always work because again, it's a constant cycle of who people think you should be, who you are, and what their perception of you is. So it's good that they just continued. It's a continued process. I don't think it ever changes, for sure.
And they're all still trying to figure out who they are.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Sometimes I'm like, wait a second, I thought I didn't like this, but I actually do. So it's a revolving door, right?
Yeah, it's a life battle.
Yes. But at least you have some options for people to come in and have some coaching classes with you. And then you also have a continued course, right? Tell me about how that works exactly.
So for any girl that's gone through one of my programs, I offer them a membership. And with the membership, they just continue to meet with me once a month. We still email, we still text. I provide them with weekly homework assignments just so that they keep practicing the skills and the tools that I've been teaching them. And I mean, what I provide for them and what I'm asking them to do is hard work, to try to change your thoughts, change the way that you think about something. It takes a long time, but I love the teens because their brains are so much more malleable than, say, an adult who's had certain beliefs for a very, very long time, which are harder to change.
Yeah.
But these teens, they're amazing. They're ready for the work, but it still takes a little while. The longer we've had a belief, the harder it is to change.
Yeah. So I have a question really. I know you're a certified life coach. What is sort of the difference between the certified life coaching versus sending a child to therapy?
This is such a great question. I have a webinar coming up about this with another therapist.
Okay, good.
But yeah, so this has been my experiences. I have been in therapy for multiple things throughout my life, and therapy has been really, really good for me. But in therapy, I kind of got to a point where I was like, okay, all this stuff has happened, but like, now what? Now what do I do with it? I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to live my life. And therapy didn't offer that for me. And so life coaching kind of comes in after we've been through therapy and is like, okay, what are we going to do about the future? How are you going to live your life? Let's understand your past and let's move on. And you really actually get to pick who you want to be. And it's working through all of that and setting goals and deciding who you want to be and what you want to do, and really taking control of your life and not just really letting life happen.
Okay, so what I'm kind of hearing is having a plan. At the end, having a plan. With therapy, you do a lot of talking, and they pull all that information out, but you're also taking it one step further and saying, okay, now what? And here's homework to do too. Not that you don't get homework in therapy, because I know you do, but I feel like that's some of what I heard that was a little bit different. Is that right? You kind of have them have a plan for what they're going to do once they realize, once they've had that epiphany of, okay, this is what I'm going to change. Is that right?
Yeah. And I mean, that's just been my experience in therapy. That's why I became a life coach, because I love how it's changed my life. But yeah, I'm guiding girls along to, make friends, to be less anxious in social situations. I'm teaching them the how. How do they become the person they want to become, which is somebody who can say hi to people, or not not feel awkward all the time, or just be able to sit in a social situation and not be nervous, or deal right now with all this uncertainty that's going on. It's hard to be at home with all your family members all the time right now if you're a teen.
Everybody.
Yeah. And so and they don't even know when they're going to get to go back to school, some of them.
Yeah.
So just handling that uncertainty, I just kind of hold their hand and walk them through it.
Okay. Yeah, I love that, because even a lot, the high schoolers, they missed out on prom. They're missing out on senior trips. I mean, I feel like those are, your rites of passage that you look forward to as you get older, and they're just not getting those milestones that normally they would get, I think. So I think that sometimes just being able to understand that for them is good too.
Yeah, they're grieving right now. They're grieving on losing a lot of connections. And so, yeah, just most of my work lately has been helping them cope with the grief that they've been experiencing.
Yeah, it's sad. I'm hoping this alleviates soon. But I'm glad that you're able to do your videos or your coaching sessions via Zoom, regardless, and that's how you do them. Because sometimes when you're in your own environment, you can also tend to open up a little bit more too, whether you're not in some sterile room. So I think that that's great that you're still able to be there for them.
Yeah, they like it. They get their laptops and they cuddle in their bed and we talk, or they go wherever they're comfortable. And it's really laid back and a relaxed environment for the teens.
That's good. Well, I hope that for some people seeing our video for the first time, they now know that this is available. to their daughters or for themselves even, because sometimes you just need somebody to talk to who's not directly related to you, or in any way going to judge you or say something that that they already have a preconceived notion of what's going on, right? So this is great. I hope that we're able to send some more people your way. What are you doing right now to pass the time? I know you're doing this, but what about you and your family? How's everyone hanging out and getting along or not getting along right now?
Well, I think the important thing that I keep reminding myself is that there's no right way to do this. Okay.
Yeah.
This has never happened before. All of our families are dealing with this in their own way, and to just have a lot of compassion for one another. And, the whole working from home and then having kids doing homeschool, I just keep reminding myself that the most important thing right now for my kids is that they are emotionally taken care of. And all the teachers will course correct in the fall, or however we do it in the fall. But right now, the most important thing is that they are being taken care of emotionally with all the changes and everything that's going on. So I've really tried hard not to stress about all the schoolwork while I've been working, and just kind of bring it down a little bit and lower my expectations, because the way that things are right now, the online learning, it's really not, what's the word I'm looking for? It's really not ideal for kids and teens to learn in this environment. And so I think it's good to just know that they're going to be okay. And then what they're being asked to do right now isn't normal.
Right.
And so
you got to give yourself a little bit of slack on that for sure.
I've been trying to chill out, basically. That's what I've just been trying to chill out.
Stay sane. That's the goal of quarantine.
Totally. Yeah, absolutely.
That's so funny. I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. My daughter is the one, she's always been really good in school, and things were starting to slip, and I was like, what's going on with you? And she's like, you don't understand. This is different. This is awkward. And I was like, it's not that awkward, but it really is for them. But it really is. It's challenging. So anyways, I'm with you. I'm trying to just make sure they wake up and eat and shower.
Eat, sleep, exercise. Trying to get the basics in.
Yes. Well, thank you for taking a little bit of time out of your day to speak with me. I hope that this reaches somebody who really will need your services, because I know there's a lot of kids out there who are just unsure, about everything that's going on now, and just in general, teens, they need somebody else sometimes to just help them through things. And I'm glad that you're there for them.
Oh, I love my job. And I'm so honored to coach any teen girl that I get to coach. But also, if anybody does need resources, there are so many therapists and coaches and resources right now that are doing free webinars to help parents with this. So if you need extra help, there's resources out there. I'm posting stuff on my Instagram and Facebook all the time of people that are doing, webinars and Q&A sessions, and how to even cope during this time with COVID. So the information's out there if you need it.
Okay. I'll make sure that I share your Facebook handle and your Instagram handle, and anything. If people want to message you, they can go to your website and find your information.
Yeah, or they can email me that too.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you so much. I'm so glad we got to speak, and I hope that you're staying well, and hopefully we'll see you guys in the fall.
Oh, yes, I know. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of Let's Talk South County. My name is Raquel Crowell, and I just got to speak with Samantha Halvorsen, who is a certified life coach in her business, Knowing Up. I hope that if you were able to watch this, that maybe it resonated for you, or maybe for teen that you know, your daughter, and give her a call. I think right now is a perfect time for some of us to just speak with someone if you're having a little bit of anxiety. Like she said, there's tools out there that can be used to get you through. If you like this video, please make sure that you give us a thumbs up, share it, or subscribe to our channel. I hope to see you in the next episode, and until then, please stay well and stay safe.